All right. Next up, we're going to talk about Israel's wandering through the desert for 40 years and how could a loving God put his own chosen people through that? And here's why. Okay. When you're chosen by God, not only are you held to a higher standard, but you also have to be tested by fire. You have to be tested by trials. We can see this by God's Son, Jesus Christ. Our Lord was tested in the desert for 40 days in the New Testament, Jesus was. And he was perfect, and even he had to go through testing and temptation. So we can see how God's chosen people have to go through this. And Israel even more so needed testing because they were an infant and they needed to gain maturity. God provided water for them whenever they needed it, but so many times when they would run out of water, their first response wouldn't be requesting more, it would be complaining and grumbling and saying things like, "We would have been better off in Egypt, instead of dying out here in the wilderness," completely neglecting God's goodness up to this point. It's ridiculous. And they would get terrified when they were going up against mightier nations, even though God was with them and he had proven himself already. And because they didn't understand the value of God. They didn't understand how important it was to have God on their side, and how God could overcome any odds. So they needed to go through testing in the wilderness to learn the value of God and to see that he has their best interests at heart and he will provide for them.